I dropped to 150 pounds, and not because I was trying to. My body was failing, and I didn't even know what rebuilding meant. This video isn't just about weight, it's about why I had to rebuild from nothing. If you're struggling mentally or physically, you might want to see this. It might change the way you see your own healing. Before I even knew what healing felt like, I was bloated, big, sluggish, full of liquid. And then boom, I was thin and frail. My liver failed. I used to be big, strong, thick, and if I met myself in an alley, I wouldn't want to mess with me. But I never thought I would lose all my weight like that. Alcohol dulled everything: appetite, emotion, motivation. It was taking over my body and taking over my lifestyle. I thought life was hard. I had all these stresses, bills, adulting, and all these life changes that I wasn't ready for. Before this experience, I never had the correct outlets or friend groups or therapies to heal and get through life. I just had bottles. No one talks about how long it takes to fall apart. I remember looking in the mirror and seeing my skin hang off my bones. My cheekbones were exposed. All my ribs were exposed. I didn't have any muscle mass or weight on me. I looked in the mirror and I didn't think I was going to make it much longer, and I knew I had to change everything. I used to be so big and strong, and everything I did was just effortless, and I really miss having that weight. I'm embarrassed to say I made it to a point where I couldn't even walk to go get the mail from the mailbox. I wasn't skinny in a good way. I looked sick, thin, frail, and you could tell by my eyes that I was very ill. I was debilitated in bed. I couldn't even go to get the mail. I couldn't take out the trash. I could barely use the restroom and go get myself something to eat because I needed protein every 3 hours. I couldn't do normal things like go grocery shopping or get the mail or do chores. I was debilitated. I couldn't walk very far. It was 10 to 20 feet and then I was already winded. My body was debilitated and not accepting any nutrients. My liver was giving up and I didn't feel strong enough to fight. I knew that my existence wasn't just about willpower, it was about survival now, and I had to do everything in my power to make it through this. My MELD score was at a 23. My body was failing, I was jaundiced, and I had ascites and liquid filling my body with poison. I lost weight fast. I went from swollen and swelling full of liquid to muscle wasting. And my body was eating itself because I had no appetite and it wanted no nutrients. I had no strength. I was debilitated in bed all day. I couldn't even open a jar of pickles if I wanted to. I felt so full and ill all the time and full of fluid, and it was all the toxins from my bad decision making. They told me I'm gonna need a liver transplant, and I didn't believe that, and I also didn't believe that I could heal my liver. I didn't even know what rebuilding was at first. I just knew a lot of things were changing and they were gonna keep changing. I started with water. Sounds dumb, but I was always dehydrated, and water heals our bodies. It's very important for our liver. I have to say it one more time, water is life. When I was really ill, my wife would leave nutrient-packed shakes next to my bed so I could sip on something even when my body didn't want the nutrients. Collagen peptides were huge in rebuilding strength, rebuilding my joints, and helping my skin. Alcohol removes the collagen from our bodies, and knowing that, collagen peptides put it right back in during my recovery. Supplements were very important for my body, and this is when I started using milk thistle. Milk thistle has reports of healing the liver over time, and it definitely doesn't cause complications. When I had to rebuild with the milk thistle and the proteins, I focused on putting everything into my body that would rebuild my liver and heal it. One of the easiest, simplest things that my doctor started telling me to take was a daily multivitamin. With the ammonia buildup and the brain fog, I decided to start taking fish oil to help my memory. Hydration, flushing toxins, it's very important for my liver, so I used electrolytes as well. Everything I was introducing, I was doing daily as a daily routine, and I had to stack these, and I still do them today. I had to rest a lot. I rested for what felt like years, but this was important for my body as well to recover and have a safe space to do this. I rebuilt my strength by just walking to the end of the driveway, and then I started walking to the end of the street, and now I walk around Disneyland all day. I did 2 stints of physical therapy at Loma Linda. I was slowly getting back into lifting weights and walking and getting my ankles stronger because I was not exercising or standing at all. I started eating 3 meals a day with high protein snacks between, and I was doing protein shakes like a bodybuilder because I wanted to rebuild. I started getting my strength back, and I started getting my appetite back, and I started feeling human again. I remember I was weak all over, and finally after physical therapy, I could stand on one leg without falling over. Sounds small, but my ankles were so weak and I had no muscle anywhere in my body. When I finally looked in the mirror and saw that I was gaining healthy weight and I couldn't see my ribs anymore and I was starting to look strong, I cried. I realized that healing is possible. And with seeing this change, I realized I'm never going to stop and I'm going to see how far I can heal my body. My energy was returning in slow waves. My appetite was coming back and all the nutrients started feeding my energy again. I could feel my core activate again when I was standing up. It got easier and easier for me to get out of bed and start walking, and I was using exercise to get myself stronger and better. Any type of therapy, whether it was watching TV or talking to a friend or an app on my phone doing sound therapy, it was all important in my mental recovery. I just didn't look better. I felt strong inside. I felt myself coming back inside. I felt clear-headed. I felt grounded, and I felt alive again. And this was all my energy coming back. Don't wait until you're falling apart to care about your health. No transplant, no miracle, just a fight for my life. Love your liver, and it'll love you back. Sobriety didn't just save me, it gave me a second shot. Alcohol slowly creeps into your life. Once you realize it's just a poison, you'll realize you don't need it anymore. The rebuild starts inside. It's not just about the body. Supplements help, but so does water, rest, and just believing in yourself. Don't wait until you're falling apart to care about your health. Sobriety didn't just save me, it gave me this second chance. If you're in your 20s and 30s thinking life is just hard, you're not weak. You're just finding support in the wrong places. It's not your fault, but it is your fight. And you can rebuild like I did, one shake, one supplement, and one step at a time. This wasn't about looking good. This was about staying alive. Rebuilding your body after alcohol wrecks it takes patience, effort, and love. But your body wants to heal, so let it. And always love your liver.